Hare Krishna. Today we are reading, we'll continue in the Bhagavatam. So today we're reading Srimad Bagvatam, Canto 10, Chapter 13, text number 3. This canto, this chapter talks about how the Brahma stole the cowherd boys and the calves. Because when Krishna manifested on this planet, he came in his original form as Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his two-handed form. And when he manifested, he wanted to experience the love, the Vatsalya Bhav of Yashoda Maya, Nand Baba, right? And Devki and Vasudev, the love of the gopis, the love of the sakhas. He was here to enjoy. And seeing this, Lord Brahma, right? Brahmit ho gaye. He got confused that how is that Supreme Personality of Godhead over here playing like this and claiming that he is Krishna? How is that possible? Look at him. Somewhere he is eating the sand of Vraj. Right? The Vraj. He ate the sand. Somewhere he is stealing the chas from the gopis and the butter from the gopis. Right? Somewhere the monkeys, he's making them climb on his back to break the pots and to take the butter. How is this Godhead? Somewhere where Yashoda is running behind him with a whipping stick, he is getting scared. How is he God? So this tells us, so as we're reading this chapter, right, that we will never be able to understand Krishna, what he is doing, why he is doing, how does he come into being. You just need to learn to recognize, accept the words of our spiritual master, that Krishna is God, right? And once recently, one of the Prabhujis was speaking, and that reel was shared where he was talking about that what is the most important in devotional life. Is it to surrender to the spiritual master, to surrender to the holy name, right? To surrender to Krishna? What is most important? The most important aspect of our spiritual life is our surrender, dedication, trust at the lotus feet of our spiritual master. He named it as Nishta in Hindi. हमारी सतगुरु में निष्ठा कितनी है, right? Because we can say that I am sheltered, the holy name, to the holy name. I am sheltered to Krishna. I have surrendered to Krishna. I am under the protection of the holy name. I am under the protection of Krishna. But until we do not have Nishta, surrender, trust, right? Everything, until we do not give ourselves up to our spiritual master, how will we be able to develop all of that surrender, love for the holy name or Krishna? Without surrendering, dedicating ourselves completely to our spiritual master, dedication towards the holy name, surrender towards the holy name, love for the holy name, love for Krishna, dedication for Krishna, surrender for Krishna is not possible. Right? Is not possible. So over here in this text 3, in Canto 10, Sukdev Goswami Maharaj is saying, O king, kindly hear me with great attention. Although Parikshit Maharaj is already listening with so much attention, that's what Sukdev Goswami Maharaj was saying in the first two shlokas. But this, Sukdev Goswami Maharaj is telling to us that listen with great attention. Although the activities of the Supreme Lord are very confidential, no ordinary man being able to understand them I shall speak about them to you. For spiritual masters explain to a submissive disciple even subject matters that are very confidential and very difficult to understand. This is exactly what we started talking about first, right? That Krishna was performing all of these beautiful pastimes. And even Lord Brahma, right, could not understand that how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that Krishna, who Lakshmi Devi is serving at his lotus feet 24 hours a day, Krishna does not lack anything at all. He has everything to his disposal. Right? But over here, Krishna is saying no ordinary man being able to understand them. That ordinary men will not be able to understand. You need some level of intelligence to even understand this. But that intelligence, where does that come from? It comes from the spiritual master, that mercy to have that intelligence. Right? And what Sukhdev Goswami is speaking over here is very confidential and it is very hard to understand. But he continues then on the subject of the spiritual master, right? Because until we don't have dedication, surrender, love, we fully give up ourselves to our spiritual master. Until that point, right? All of this is very difficult to understand. But once we do that, immediately when we are 100% dedicated, 100% surrendered, 100% in love, 100% given up ourselves, right? The spiritual masters explain to a submissive disciple. What we are listening over here is really for all of the elevated souls, not for people like me. The spiritual masters explain to a submissive disciple even subject matters that are very confidential and difficult to understand. Right? So, what we are going to listen over here is not something that everyone gets the opportunity to hear every day or ever in their lifetime. A lot of time they have confidential information in companies, like before earnings come out, before anything is released, right? They have all confidential, like, oh, this cannot go. And if there's a deal or a merger, an acquisition going on, they actually have code words they use also, so nobody else who doesn't know about it can ever understand. And the code words don't even tie to that deal or to that business or anything. So they have code words that they use, that they talk in. Because why? It's very confidential. If anyone gets wind of it, they can either impact the deal or they can, do some insider trading with stocks or do anything, right? It's all illegal. And when we have something very confidential, right, we do not tell it to anyone. But over here, the spiritual masters, the sadhus, the saints, they explain these confidential matters, which are even very difficult to understand. They simplify it. That's why in Bapuji's Pranam mantra also, what comes? Durlabha Krishna Bhakti Ati Saral Karine. Right? Namaste Madhusudanaya Bhakti Pada Priyayate. Bapuji was so priya, so close, so loved by Bhakti Pad. Right? Durlabh, and the second part is Durlabh Krishna Bhakti. That the Krishna Bhakti that is so hard. Bapuji has made it so easy. Because when we think of devotional service, we think, oh, we are going to go far away from the world. We are going to be far away from everyone. It will completely isolate us. We have to just live in this shell to simply sit and chant and serve Krishna. No. But Bapuji makes that so easy. And he also makes all of these confidential subjects so easy to understand. Right? But all of those, who do the spiritual masters explain to? To the submissive disciples. So if we want to understand, see, listening to this is one thing, but understanding how Guru Maharaj wants us to understand this, for that we need their mercy. And for that we need to be completely dedicated, surrendered, trust them completely. Right? So as Sukhdev Goswami Maharaj is saying over here, that listen with great attention, he's actually telling all of us. Although the activities of the Supreme Lord are very confidential, no ordinary man being able to understand them. Right? And ordinary people we will not be able to understand. So he is speaking about them to Raja Parikshit. Because why? Because spiritual master explained to a submissive disciple even the subject matters that are very confidential and difficult to understand. Just as we were going and talking about the mergers and the acquisitions and the deals, right? The CEO, who will he tell that to? Will he tell it to the entire company? No, he will only tell it to his leadership team, to his 6, 8 confidential people that he believes that need to be involved in this and they need to know, have this information, right? So, the same way. So, these matters are very confidential. With the mercy of Guru and Krishna, we have received the chance to hear this information. So, in 10.4 or 10.13.4, Sukdev Goswami continues that then, after saving the boys and the calves from the mouth of Agasur, who was death personified, the Supreme Personality of Godhead brought them all to the bank of the river and spoke the following words. So, when Krishna was a child, day after day, Kansas kept on sending demons to try and hurt all of the kids in Mathura, to hurt Krishna, right? But right before this past time where Brahma stole all of the boys and the calves, Krishna had just saved them from Agasur. He just saved all of them from them. And here is another problem. In our life, we think that, oh, every day there's a new problem. We wake up and it is like problems are waiting. Just imagine Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead every single day. He wouldn't know which new demon is now going to come, what problem are going to come on the Vrajvasis, and all of those Vrajvasis who he loved so much. Not only they loved him, but even the Vrajvasis loved Krishna so much. Right? So on this day, he just saved them from death personified, from Agasur. From dying, he just saved them. Right? And he spoke the following words when he brought them to the bank of the Yamuna. And what did Krishna say? That we will continue tomorrow, or actually next week, and we will continue with the Bhagavatam. But for today, we should understand that until we are not surrendered completely and have full trust, right, on the lotus feet of our spiritual master, on our spiritual master, it is very difficult to make progress in bhakti. And we will not even if we listen to all of these Harikatha, we will not be able to understand them or follow them or anything without their mercy. So once we surrender, that mercy starts flowing, then we will be able to also not only just listen to all of these confidential pastimes, but actually understand and take the bliss that is flowing from all of these pastimes of Lord Krishna. So we'll end here during this auspicious Kartik Mass. Then we'll continue next week. Before we end, we'll chant together Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Bihari Lal ki Jai Ho. श्री श्री राधा दामोदर की जय हो। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय हो। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय हो। जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे। हरे कृष्ण।